Google Ads and lead gen, how do you know how much money or how much revenue you're making back from your lead gen Google Ads campaigns? This is something that we see a lot of businesses struggling with, trying to figure out the actual ROI that they're getting from their lead gen on Google Ads. So I'm going to go through the process of how to figure that out and what you need to do to be able to do that. This is only for lead gen offline conversions using Google Ads. With Google Ads, there are basically two ways that people can contact you, right? They can call you or they can submit a lead form on your website. With calling you, there's three different ways people can call you that Google can track. So they can be on their computer, they can see your ad, they can go to your website, and they can call the number that is on your website. And to make this work and be able to track it, you need to have the Google forwarding number set up using Google Tag Manager, using the manual calls from website conversion, where they go to your website on their computer and Google is swapping your phone number with a Google forwarding number. Somebody brings up their phone and then they call that number that they see on their desktop and they call you. And Google's able to track that with the Google forwarding number. They can call you through a call-only ad using the Google forwarding number, or a call extension that also uses the Google forwarding number. And they can submit the lead form on your website. So first thing that we're going to go over is how to figure out, one, how much money you're making from people that are calling you, and then we'll go over how much money you're making from people that are submitting your lead forms. So when somebody calls you, ideally what is happening is that you are creating a client in your CRM. And when that client is marked as closed, the process is that data gets uploaded into a Google Sheet, can be automated or done manually. And then that data is imported into Google Ads. And then Google Ads or Google maps that data and sees whether or not somebody actually called you through an ad. If they did, that gets attributed to your campaigns. So what data do we need to map calls in Google Ads? So first things first, in your Google Ad account settings, you need to go to your account settings, and I'm in the way here, admin, account settings, and you need to make sure that you have call reporting turned on so you can get detailed information about the calls that you've received. So Google is able to track the caller's phone number, when that call started, and what campaign it came from. So you need to make sure you have call reporting turned on. That's a very important step. So the data that we need, and this is where it can get kind of complicated. So you need the caller's phone number, so that's easy. But you also need the call start time. So if you don't have a inbound call system that is tracking what time these calls started at, this is going to be difficult. So ideally, you do need something to be able to determine in your CRM when that call actually originated and the exact day and time that it started at. Then you need the conversion time, so when they converted from a lead into closed. You need the value of that, and you need the currency. So basically, the process is you use the Google Sheet that Google has a template for that you can find. It's called Offline Call Conversion Import Google Sheet. You search that up and you'll find the template. What you need to be doing is you need to be updating the rows in this spreadsheet with the information that I just showed. You need the caller's phone number, the call start time, the conversion name, which is going to be a new conversion. You need to create a new conversion in your Google Ads, an offline conversion that you're going to name phone calls closed. And to do that, you need to go into your conversion goals, into your summary, and you want to create a new conversion goal, and you need to be importing it. You are going to import CRM files and other data sources, and you want to track conversions from calls, and you're going to name it, I'm just going to name this test right now, but you want to name it offline call imports. You want to use a different value for each conversion, 90 days, data driven, create and continue, and you want this to be a converted lead. I'm going to create that and continue. This is basically telling us that we need to set up the Google forwarding number on our website, which is already going to be set up. So we're just going to skip that for now, but I just wanted to show that you need to make a new conversion action under converted lead and name it accordingly. So when you're filling out this sheet, your conversion name is going to be that new conversion that is from your offline calls. So ideally, what you're doing here is uploading data from every single person that has called you in your CRM, regardless of where they came from. You might not know where they came from, and that's why we're doing this. You're uploading data into this sheet, the caller's phone number, what time that call started at, the conversion name is what we just talked about, the conversion time is when they converted from a lead into a sale, and the value of that conversion. So if it's a $500 job, $2,000 job, you are updating this. And this can be done using Zapier or something, but in this case, we're not going to get into the automation part. I just want to go over how this actually works. So we're updating this sheet. Then what we're doing in our Google Ads account is we are going to uploads. And here, you're going to schedule an upload with a Google Sheet. And you want your frequency to be, it depends how often you're going to be updating this sheet. Let's just do every Saturday. What time, doesn't really matter. And you're going to link your Google Sheet to Google Ads here. So basically how this is working is because you have call recording or call reporting turned on, Google knows what phone numbers are calling you through ads and what time that call started at because it's using the Google forwarding number. When you're uploading your data back in, Google is looking at the caller phone number and the call start time to see if that matches with any of the calls that Google sees on their end. If they match, great. You're going to be able to see that conversion in your Google ad account attributed to a certain campaign, and you're going to be able to see the value of it, and you're going to be able to see whether or not you're making money from the people that are calling you through ads. So that is the call portion of it. And like I said, the call start time is where the most difficulty comes in, which is when, it might not be easy for you to have the call start time, depending on what phone system you're using, if you have a phone system. But that is essentially how it works for mapping calls from ads into your Google ad account and seeing if you are making revenue from that. Now, we're going to talk about the lead form submissions. So the first step for this is to make sure you're tracking your lead form submissions in your Google ad account. And you need to make sure that under your goals, under your settings, that one, you have enhanced conversions turned on using Google Tag Manager. Ideally, in this case, you've also used Google Tag Manager to set up your conversion tracking for your submit lead form. And then on that actual goal, you are going to want to make sure that you have set up the enhanced conversions and that it's working. And when you're in Google Tag Manager, you're setting up your submit lead form action. You will see this box, include user provided information from your website, and you want to make sure this is turned on and that you can use automatic collection or manual configuration. Hopefully automatic collection will work for you. If not, you will have to get some help from Google and do manual collection using Google Tag Manager, but let's just say in this case it works using automatic collection. Basically, what's happening now is that Google is receiving hashed data that a user is filling out when they're filling out your form. So how enhanced conversion works is basically user clicks on your ad, they fill out a form, your website sends the hashed information back to Google Ads with the lead information. So like the person's email address and their phone number, that gets hashed, so it's anonymous, and Google stores that. You're storing your lead information in your CRM, and then when a lead converts, you upload that hashed data back into Google Ads. So it's kind of the same as the calls. Google has their list of hash data. You send back your hash data and they find matches, okay? So unlike using Google Click ID, where you have to modify your form to collect the Google Click ID, instead, it's using information that was already captured about your leads to measure the conversions. So we prefer doing this way rather than the Google Click ID, just because it's a little bit more up to date. It's Google's preferred way of doing this. So it's the same process. Somebody is filling out the form, you have enhanced conversion set up, you're creating a client in your CRM. Once they're closed, we're uploading that data back into Google Sheets, and then that's going to the Google Ad account. So what data do we need to map form submissions in Google Ads? Well, one, we need the person's email address. We need their phone number. We need the conversion time, the value, and the conversion name. So similar to the call conversion, you need to go and you need to make another new conversion. Import CRM, you want to track conversions from clicks. You're going to set up a data source later, and then you're going to make sure you have enhanced conversions turned on, and you're going to set up this new conversion. And once you have that set up, it's going to be named something like submit lead forms closed. And then what you're going to do is very similar to this call sheet. This is the one for enhanced conversions provided by Google. So you're going to upload the person's email address, their phone number, your conversion name, which is your new conversion, what time they converted at, and the conversion value. So you're going to take everyone from your CRM that has came through a lead form submission and that has closed, and you're going to update the spreadsheet with that information. And what you need to do is you need to follow these instructions, and you need to make sure you're adding this trigger where you're auto hashing the information on edit. So as soon as you upload a new person's email address and phone number, that information gets hashed because Google has the hash data on their end already, so you need to hash it here as well. So once you've uploaded this information, it gets hashed, and then again, it's the same process to actually upload that information. So you're gonna go to your goals, you're gonna upload, you're gonna set a new schedule. Your source is gonna be a Google Sheet. So now what's gonna be happening, ideally if this is all set up properly, is that you have people calling you through your ads, you're tracking it, and people are submitting lead forms on your website, creating clients in your CRM, and then once they're closed, you are updating these two spreadsheets, and then that data is getting uploaded into Google Ads. Now, like I said, this can be automated with things like Zapier, but just for the sake of ideally what Google wants and tells you how to do it is to do it like this. And if you are using a CRM like HubSpot or like Service Titan, this can be automated a little bit more. But this is the process on how you track how much money you're making from Google Ads. So they're coming through this funnel, they're converting, and then Google is using the information that they've stored with calls. They know what phone number called you and when. You are sending that information back after someone's closed and they're trying to find matches. And then with lead forms, they know based on the hashed data using enhanced conversions who submitted your lead form. And then they're finding matches based on the hash data that you send back. So once you've actually done all that, you would have basically two conversions under converted lead. You would have submit lead form closed and you'd have calls closed. And then you'd be able to see the conversion value once that data is actually uploaded. And then what's the point of all this beyond just seeing if you're making money? Well, ideally, if you are making money and you're happy with that, you can switch some of your campaign settings to now optimize for these converted leads at bottom of funnel, and you can use return on ad spend bidding. So that's kind of the, would be the gold standard of why you're doing this for lead gen. So that's how you figure out if you're making revenue and if you're making sales and how much sales from your Google Ads for lead generation. Obviously, way different and a little bit easier for e-commerce, but for people that are collecting leads, that are converting offline, and you want to see the value of those that have been generated from Google Ads, this is how you do it. It can be a little bit complicated. You do need some technical knowledge and resources for sure, but we do recommend getting this set up if you can. And if you can't, Google Ads, are still going to work for you. You're still going to get leads. You're just not going to be able to see the full picture, but seeing the full picture requires a good amount of work. So if you have questions about this, or this is something that you might want to get set up for your business, just reach out to us and we'll see if we can help. Cheers.